What's going on, people? So today's video is going to be really interesting. We have quite a bit to talk about. So I'd appreciate if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So over in the official Multiversus Discord, the dev team decided to do a Q&A answering questions that the community had leading up to the relaunch of Multiversus. And starting out with the first question. Ajax, hey everyone. First we have Courage from Multiversus. What are your thoughts, goals, and changes with armor? It was by far the most annoying and frustrating thing in the game because most characters didn't have a good armor breaking move to actually deal with armor spam. In the case of Tom and Jerry, they had Dynamite, which was nerfed to no longer bounce, which killed them being able to effectively deal with armor. Ajax then responds, armor changes were a big focus for the team to make sure there's a healthy balance amongst characters. Armor now uses defensive meter, and the startup has been looked at for the moves that use them. There are also more characters that have an armor breaking move or multi-hit attacks that can successfully challenge armored moves. This will allow a balance for offensive and defensive rather than getting to use armor as both without much drawback. I really like this change because I feel like the armor was really hard to deal with if you didn't have like the perk armor break or a good multi-hit move. And the fact that it actually used defensive meter now is huge, because you're gonna have to be smart with how you use it, and it just seems that meter is gonna be playing a really big role now. The cat then responds, as someone who manages a character that centralizes around armor usage, I definitely understand its past strengths in the open beta. As stated above, the team has come together to give characters more consistent tools to deal with armor as a whole. Armor is still strong, but even as I play Wonder Woman now, I notice that it doesn't retain the same potency as it has in the past, making it overall much healthier. Again, emphasizing that armor is now more balanced than it was before. I really like this change. So, on to the next question. So the next question comes from a user named ShadowVictor75. Will the blast zones be adjusted due to the larger character scale? PFG Grant then responds, yes, we have fine-tuned blast zones on every stage so that the 1v1 and 2v2 experience feels great. Blast zone adjustments are just one of the ways we have improved stages on a case-by-case basis to reflect the new character sizes. That's a really nice change. I always say that stages are really important when it comes to plat fighters and making them feel unique. And he says that's one of the ways that they improved on stages. I'm sure that they have more planned when it comes to improving on stages, like better layouts, maybe cool hazards, and maybe some things you can probably interact with when it comes to stages. All that is going to be pretty cool. So on to the next question, and this one is by far my favorite one. The next question comes from a user named Stress Inducer. How will a parry interact with an armor attack? PFG Resliv then responds, oh, good call. Parries are tricky to pull off, so you want to make sure you get the reward you deserve for timing your perfect defense. Currently, if you parry an armor opponent, it will break their armor. If you parry an opponent from long range, it will bring them closer to you so you can get your punish. That is crazy. I really like this change. This change is big because, in my opinion, I feel like this parry mechanic will separate great players from average players, and it will really create a skill gap that I feel like Multiversus never really had before. PFG Resliv then goes on and he says, well, someone asked the question, can you parry projectiles? PFG Resliv responds, easy answer, yes. Parrying a normal projectile will destroy it. In the same vein, we updated the clear the air perk. If the wearer parries a projectile, they will reflect it instead. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Clear the Air perk. I used to use it quite a bit to deal with heavy base projectile characters like Rain Dog, Rick, Tom and Jerry. And I used to use it back then when it destroyed the projectiles. Now with this new parry update, because they basically confirmed that parry is going to be done with neutral dodge. And if that's the case, that parrying with that perk is going to be probably something I use quite a bit, and I'm not sure how strong it's going to be, because they did say it's not going to be easy to parry. I do like that. They say it's tricky. I like that word they use, tricky. So This is gonna be really fun to like try out. That's the first thing I'm gonna probably mess with when the game comes out, and it's gonna be pretty interesting. All right, so let's get on to the next question. The next question comes from the username the Plop Plop. Any information that can currently be given regarding potential changes to perks? Are they still in the game? If so, does your character level still needs to be level 8 plus to equip a full set of perks? PFG Resliv then responds, yes, well, also no. I don't think I'm at liberty to talk about all the specifics yet, but perks have been updated in a big way. I'm glad to hear that perks are being changed in a positive way, so that's good news. The level thing doesn't really bother me. I mean, it gives people incentives to like play and level up their character. I'm curious to see how they changed it, cause he did say that you will have access to at least a full set, so that's pretty interesting. I'm curious how they're gonna like handle that. I'm gonna go over a couple more questions. I'm not gonna read all of them because there is quite a bit. If you guys are interested in, all the questions that have been asked, I'll link the Discord in the video below, and you guys can go check it out for yourself. It's pretty interesting. All right, well, I'm gonna read a couple more questions. All right, so the next question is, from a user named Zeldris505 on the hit pause changes. What's the reason for the decision to increase stun time in the hit lag and rescaling of the character? Why those big changes? PFG Resliv then responds, heck yeah, good question. We covered this a bit already in our combat refactor dev blog, but the goal with our update was to make the combat more approachable and impactful for new players while maintaining competitive depth. All the changes to our combat were made in services of the goal. Bigger characters and higher hit pause hit lag really make the combat feels weightier and stronger, and it's much easier to follow the action on screen when everything pops. But we didn't want to lose the speed and movement that players come to love in the beta. Rest assured, combat is still satisfying and fluid even with our larger characters. Alright, so that's really good to hear that the overall feeling of the game that we once known and played in the beta is much less the same, but despite, bigger characters. For the most part, the game is going to feel similar and smoother based on what PFG said. So that's good. That's really good to hear. I like that. And for our last question, I'm gonna do one more. All right, last question comes from a user named Danny, and they ask, which out of the current roster is your personal favorite? All right, we got Nakat, whose answer is Wonder Woman, Gizmo, and ... Well, I guess you'll see in a few weeks. Hinting that there is gonna be at least one new character. PFG Grant, he then responds, Bug Bunny is my favorite ... for a few more weeks. So I'm guessing there's a character that they want to say, but they just can't say it. Ajax responds, Batman is my favorite character in all of media, and he's also my favorite to play in Multiversus. Wonder Woman has also become a favorite of mine in this version of the game. There's also another ... Guess you'll find that one out very soon. That's just really interesting. So, actually, I'm gonna read one more. PFG Reslip also said, ha ha ha. Oh man, I do truly love playing the entire cast. I think it's important for me to get the feel on whoever I can. But lately I've been enjoying Iron Giant, Steven Universe, ... They're both really interesting characters design, and I've been doing a lot of work to make sure they feel extra good for launch. So all Iron Giant and Steven Universe main, look out. Your character he might have some sauce. Because Redliv seems to really like this character, so you guys are eating. All right, that's gonna be it for the video, people. All right, do you guys feel like there were any questions that weren't asked that should have been asked? You know, feel free to comment down below what questions you think should have been asked and answered. And do you guys, what do you guys think will be the next revealed character, and how many characters do you think we're getting? I'm not sure. I'm thinking we're getting at least 2, so look forward for that. And I appreciate everybody that watched this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.